Hey guys, so today I'm going to be cutting tomatoes, and I thought that while I was doing that, I would talk about Twitter and just sort of my journey with Twitter, how I got started, where I'm at now, and mostly just like all the cool crap I've done since I started using Twitter and all the amazing people I've met. Like, I never expected it. And I want to talk about it and document it for myself, and I thought maybe it would be interesting to somebody else. And I also have to cut up these tomatoes. I got a 20-pound box of tomatoes for $5 from the Amish today. I live in Kentucky. We have lots of Amish. And my mom's gonna make spaghetti sauce out of them, but she's working today and they're really ripe, so I need to go ahead and cut the cores out, and then I'll put them in a hot water bath so I can take the skins off, and then I'll chop them up and put them in a pot, and so then she can come back the next day and cook them into spaghetti sauce. Anyway, so Twitter. I had a Twitter when I was like 13 or something, but I mean, I don't know. I just retweeted like basic white girl tweets and funny stuff and didn't really use it. I mean, I was 13. And I got rid of it, and then this winter, I sort of decided to start getting into it again. My boyfriend at the time was really into Twitter, and I would find myself getting on his Twitter and scrolling through, and I was like, oh my God, who are all these cool people? Like, this is really cool. So I really got into it in March when quarantine began. Quarantine, as all of us were, didn't have much to do, so I got on Twitter and started following some cool, smart people. I think the very first person I followed was David Perel. So shout out to you, David. Really enhanced my beginning Twitter experience. And then I started to fall into that sort of side of Twitter. I guess like the productivity online education side of Twitter. So I got into that space. And I also intentionally followed like a lot of agriculture accounts. I've always been pretty into agriculture. And some political accounts, just a couple on both sides. I didn't want to curate my Twitter feed just to be stuff that I was already interested in and kind of stuff that I already believed in. I really wanted to have a wide variety of things. Like, I wanted to get on Twitter to challenge myself and to learn and grow, right? So I followed a bunch of random different people. And for the past few months, I've been slowly following a few more people. I think I'm up to 100 and, I don't know, 75 maybe now, and already that feels a bit overwhelming. And I think I have 57 followers, which I know isn't very many, but it's exciting for me because when I originally started it, I was like, why would anyone follow me? I don't know, because I didn't feel like I had any ideas to share, especially once I got on there and I started reading all of you incredibly intelligent, smart, amazing people, especially because I was sort of on the techier side of Twitter and I'm not techie. Like, what do I have to offer to these people? I don't know. But I've been slowly, as you're on Twitter more, you get more and more comfortable engaging with people, realizing that, yeah, just because I don't use Roam every day and am not an angel investor doesn't mean that I can't talk to people and make friends and have something, worthwhile to bring to the table. So it's been good. And Visa followed me a couple days ago, and that was sort of my pinnacle. I was so happy because I want to be Visa. Visa doesn't really know me, but his aura, his friend making, like friendly, ambitious nerd vibe, that it's me. I'm his protege. I am a Visa in training, so just watch out. I'm coming to dethrone you, Visa. But yeah. So some of the things that Twitter has brought my life, it's obviously taken away many hours of my life, but I think that the benefits have really outweighed that. So I made some notes on this dirty paper plate of things I wanted to talk about. So let's just run down the list. First thing, running. So I've been into weightlifting and I still do that. I know bodyweight workouts are great. I do my bodyweight workouts, don't get me wrong. But there's something nice about a good run. There really is. And I've always sort of hated it. And there's not like one specific account. on Twitter that inspired me to start running, but just hearing different people talking about it. And then, well, actually, there is one specific account. It's Hyde at Breathe Less, maybe. It talks about exercising without breathing through your mouth. And I was like, well, that's interesting, because every time I run, I'm huffing and puffing. So I was like, you know what? I am going to go for a run, and I am not going to breathe out of my mouth the whole time. I am only going to breathe out of my nose. And I did it, and obviously it was quite difficult the first time, but I don't know, it just felt different. It felt better. I didn't push myself as hard because I needed to, keep my mouth shut, and I think that's what happens is often I overdo it when I'm running. And just breathing through my nose made me not overdo it. So I sort of kept up with that. And I'm not a regular runner. I don't run every day or anything. Maybe once or twice a week. But guys, yesterday I went for a run and I ran a 7-minute mile without breathing through my mouth. And I've never even gotten close to a 7-minute mile with breathing through my mouth. I mean, that's like a kind of a big deal for me because I've never been a big runner. So that was pretty awesome. And I definitely owe some of my inspiration to Twitter. Along the lines with the breathwork stuff, I've been just doing more meditative type breathing, not super into meditation really, but sort of sitting and counting my breaths and holding my breath. I don't know, just taking time to like feel the air hunger is something that I was sort of inspired to do from being on Twitter, and I've enjoyed it. I feel like my lungs are in good shape. I also this summer started a quarantine book club. Now, once again, it wasn't some just, one idea, one account off of Twitter that necessarily inspired me to do this, but seeing all these like people talking about books on Twitter and having great discussions, I was like, I could do that, with my friends. Why couldn't we do that? I have a great group, a small group, but a great group of, intelligent, friendly people who would love to talk about a book. And so I was like, somebody just needs to make this happen, and I guess that person is me. So I reached out to these friends, and we started a book club, and we started with Mere Christianity, sort of a religious-based book club. We had 2 diehard Christians, 2 diehard atheists, and 2 somewhere in the middle, me being one of those. And we did Mere Christianity, and we met over Zoom, or when a couple of us could be in person, we do that, and it was great. Oh my God, it was like, why aren't we all doing this all the time? Because it was fun, right? Hanging out with the friends, and then the book was amazing, and getting to talk about it with so many different people, it was like, duh, no brainer. And we did it again with Crime and Punishment, which was also really great. There was a bit of inner book club drama after that, which I'm not going to get into, so we haven't started another book, but I know book clubs are amazing now, and I definitely plan to either start, or join more, and maybe with some few Twitter people. That'd be really cool. Let's see. Oh, I recently started taking magnesium and vitamin B12. Shout out to the nutrition side of Twitter for making me realize that I have been deficient in magnesium my entire life. Yeah, I'm not so sure about these things, but my health is really important to me, and I think that B12 and magnesium are pretty much no-brainers given everything that I've read. So I'm happy to be taking those. Found that off of Twitter. And lots of just food and sort of health stuff in general, I would say. It's really great to, be able to see the little snippets from like real people on Twitter rather than, if you just Google something nutritionally, you get so many articles like nutrition.com, WebMD, all this stuff. And what do I trust? I don't believe any of that. I don't like filtering through it. I hate all the advertisements on the sites, but with Twitter, it's so much easier to get that kind of information for me. So I really like that. Another really exciting thing that happened from Twitter is I got a full-time job, my first non-internship full-time job. And I'm not sure how I feel about that full-time life, not gonna lie. I always told myself I would never get like a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday office job, like a computer job. I was like, that's not me. I'll get fired. I can't do it. Well, here we are. We're 3 weeks in, and it's going well so far. I love the company and I love my coworkers, but I literally, the CEO came up on my Twitter. I didn't even follow him. I didn't even know who he was. And announcing the launch of his company a month ago, and said that he was looking, for help. And I tweeted him and I said, hey, I can help. I've been looking for this sort of thing, like DM me. And he sent me his email address, and I emailed him my resume and a little love letter, and like 2 days later I was hired. It was crazy. It's an education startup, and that's literally exactly what I've always said I wanted to get into, especially in some sort of sales position. So yeah, although it's difficult working 5 days a week. I'm not really used to doing that, and I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it overall, but certainly an incredible learning experience, a great team, money, that's really nice to have. I like that aspect of it. So it's super exciting. Like, I just tweeted him, and I finally, I get what people say about the networking effect of Twitter. I like never expected that. I mean, I spent hours and hours filling out job applications, and I was like, if I get this job after one tweet, you know what I mean? But then I did, and of course I'm happy about it. And I don't know, I've been telling everybody about it. I'm like, y'all, we need to be networking using Twitter. I'm like, do you realize that like all the cool, smart people are on Twitter, and you can become friends with them and they can help you do stuff? Like, what? It's super cool. Like, it's actually just makes me so happy. So my job, let's see. Oh, one thing kind of related to the job is, like I said, I'm kind of in the, I don't know, techie, computer sciencey, post-rationalist, Visa, David Perel side of Twitter. I don't really know what you call that. And it's just amazing to me how many entrepreneurs there are, how many small companies and founders and authors, just so many creative people just taking life by the reins and doing what they want to do, because nobody in my circle does that sort of stuff. My family, no, nothing. I come from an uneducated, family in a small town in Kentucky. So my dad just got home from work and interrupted me, so I had to take a pause there. But what I was saying was that just where I come from, my community and my family, basically, everybody works in the medical field, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I just haven't been really exposed to many business people, entrepreneur types, creative types, and it's so cool. Oh my God, it's so cool. Like, I know I've said this like 3 times during this video, but you guys are literally amazing people. I feel blessed to even be able to follow you on Twitter and just see this sort of stream of your consciousness. It's incredible. And hopefully make friends with more of you. I've already made a couple friends off Twitter. It's like great having these people, first of all, that I can just connect with over the internet at like any time of day. And then second of all, as I'm making these friends and building this network, that'll come in handy for future projects and collaborations. And when I can finally travel again, outside of the US and inside of the US, of course, I'll have people to visit and hang out with and go do stuff with, which I'm really excited about. That's probably the networking on Twitter, and not just professionally, but just personally, is, gosh, it's got to be so underrated. It's really underrated among people I know. Nobody that I am close with is doing anything like I'm doing with Twitter. And I'll tell them about it, and they're kind of like, oh, that's really cool, but you can kind of see that they don't believe it. But every day I believe it more and more, that this network here on Twitter has so much power to not just inspire individuals through their, through seeing tweets, but to really like create something bigger, like Anna Gatt is doing. I guess her last name is Gatt. Anyway, Anna Gatt is doing with the Interintellect. And me personally, I'm already thinking about how can we create more physical spaces for this Twitter network to come together. So basically, my goal here is, of course, keep learning and growing off Twitter, and then keep growing this network and making friends with people and helping, I don't know, like I said earlier, like sort of what Visa is doing, you know, connecting all these great people. And I don't know, I want to be a part of that. I don't know what my life calling is, but I think it has to do, it has to be something related to this. It has to be something related to being with you great people and helping you accomplish your dreams, and then helping me realize mine, whatever they may be. I don't know. It's just, it's this web. It's this amazing freaking web. And I try to tell my parents about it all the time and they don't understand, but you guys understand. So I really just wanted to share that. Like I said, document it for myself too, because my Twitter is probably only going to keep growing as long as I keep feeding into it. So we can kind of see how my feelings towards it evolve, and as I meet more people and make more friends and new projects happen, I can kind of look back on this, and this is where I was on August 29th, 2020. So if you've made it this far, thanks for listening. If you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me. We should be friends and we can learn and grow together. So peace out, guys.